those licks right there.
That was great.
This is
Who did that?
It's a band called the Londoners or something like that.
Londoners.
I let our co-host that's not here right now, Caleb Fuddy, who is he's got a his own venture called the Scouting Block. He basically videotapes young boys, baseball players.
Oh, cool.
And then
weird.
flips it around, and he has the connection for scouts and college and pro. So we'll give a shout out at the beginning of the show. This is Sweat Equity Podcast. I'm your host, Law Smith.
I love Sweat Equity.
That other voice, that sultry voice you hear on the other side, that's Sam Tripoli, comedian extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Punch
Good to be here.
Drunk Sports.
Yeah, Punch Drunk Sports. I'm loving it.
Awesome show. I love listening to it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man. And so you were like, what is this podcast about? It's basically about, like, I don't like the Tim Ferriss style of I don't like those visionary kind of TED Talks where it's like,
believe in yourself, visualize it, say it to yourself over and over again.
Exactly, man. So it's like one of those things where that's not real pragmatic advice.
Right.
And sitting at the third mic, that might be silent, is another comedian friend, Jennifer Hensley.
I'm just gonna be the stereotypical lady in radio. I'm just gonna go, that's mean, guys. That's mean.
That's great.
That's just mean.
And then giggle in the background.
Me.
Yeah.
And then you'll ask me if I like anal.
Okay.
That's usually how it goes.
Is that how the radio goes?
That's usually how
What radio are you doing?
Yeah. I dropped the F-bomb the other day on Mike's show. I was like, oh, no, I felt so bad. I take pride in not saying that because I drop the F-bomb literally all the time.
Wait, are we?
We're-
is
oh,
this
yeah,
a
we're
clean
going.
Show? Are we allowed to swear?
Oh, do whatever you
We
want.
can totally
Should I
swear.
not have said anal?
No, you can't say
No.
anal.
All right.
We're just like, what radio show are you talking about anal on? What are you doing, serious?
It just.
It
You're just
happens,
having
man.
fun.
Sometimes
we overanalyzed
the
your
radio.
joke. We overanalyzed.
Sometimes
did.
it's a Freudian slip.
Yeah.
It wasn't even asked, and it just comes up. But
She-
so basically, this show is like, you wanted to do something. How did you get there? And sometimes I like that kind of minutia stuff. I like that, like, hey, I got up at 6 a.m. every morning, and I, went for a walk, listened to classical music, and wrote down my goals for the day and the week. That kind of stuff, I think, is. Look,
I do believe that stuff.
Like, so what we were just talking off air before we started that you grew up in upstate New York.
Yes.
And I don't want to go down the route of like a WTF interview because that's been kind of fucked out. Kind of like, give me your whole comedic kind of background.
Talk to me about it. You were born. What was the first 6 months like?
Like, and nothing against that. That's just been overdone with a lot of podcasts. Well, I kind of like the hustle. I like the stuff where I've known you since, I don't know, I saw you before we kind of knew each other in like 07 or 08.
Back in the day. Can you believe back in the day is 2007?
I know.
Is that when
That's
you were
crazy.
at the Improv? Was 2007?
So I saw Sam at the Melrose Improv in Hollywood right when the financial crisis shit was about to go down, and he got up and did like 10 minutes he just riffed about, we're all doomed, we're all doomed, we're all fucked, and I was like, this is amazing, this is awesome, this is one of the best things I've seen. And I was sitting in the back, I was like a jit comic, I'm like only been doing it 3 years out there, and so I would just sit in the back of comedy clubs all the time and just kind of absorb. Never steal, but absorb.
No, I get that, dude.
Yeah.
I think it's very important that you sit there and you watch what other people are doing. A big problem I have right now is that I can't watch people's specials.
Right.
Because I don't want to get influenced.
Well, now there's a crest though. At a certain point, like, you need to do that when you're a young comic. You need to do that when you really want to be a comedian and you're doing
Right.
open mics and you're not getting real gigs. You need to sit in the back and learn.
Right.
But at a certain point, now you have your own voice, and now you don't want to.
Yeah, I do. But I like that. Like, for me, man, the only thing I want to know is, like, how do people start their sets? That's all that matters to me. I'm like, I've been doing comedy almost like 20 years, man. I've been obsessed with how people start their set. It's such a weird thing for me because, and we'll get into whatever you want to talk about, but it's like, for me walking on stage, it is literally the hardest part of my set. I have such a unusual look. I'm not like most people when they walk up on stage, you know what they're going to talk about. And that is, you can't tell me that doesn't help. Like, I know what Gabriel Iglesias is going to talk about. And I think he's a wonderful comic. I think he's a
Yeah.
great comic. I don't think he gets enough respect
Sure.
for the great of a writer he is. Maybe he does. He sells out stadiums, so maybe. But I feel like from his peers, maybe he doesn't get the respect. Not that nobody likes him, but it's just like he doesn't get the respect for how great of a writer I think he really is.
I know what you're trying to say. Like, if people are talking about like who's hot right now in comedy, he's not really brought up.
Yeah.
But if you sat in the room with him, you'd like him. I've heard he's a great guy. And
Oh,
like,
I hear he helps out so many people. He's like anybody he thinks is like kind of unknown. He'll shoot their special for them. Like he'll fund their special. But you know who he is when he's walking up.
Right.
You can almost like I can pretty much guess what somebody's act's gonna be when they walk up on stage.
Right.
I don't think that's me. Oh, and I think that I have a weird kind of darkness to me when I walk on stage that is like I've been told I'm very dark, which is a weird thing because I try to help anybody all the time as much as I possibly can. Obviously, by my movements in change.org, I'm constantly trying to help my fellows. And
he's trying to feel good about putting petitions up on change.org. Something we started before we started this recording. You feel like slacktivism is the way to go.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
So, so I'm consumed with how people start their act. I love how the wad shit. I love how
Well,
famous people are and how people who don't know how they started off, and it's always interesting.
Yeah.
Do you start? I'm trying to remember how you usually start. Do you start soft or you just get right into it?
Enough with
trying
the
to
anal
remember.
questions, all
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Welcome to Anal with Jennifer.
Stop it, guys! You're being mean to me.
Okay. I try to start soft.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just like to rack people, but I try to start soft and just kind of play with the room and have fun, especially when I'm headlining. Like I was talking to my friend Gareth Reynolds, who's like one of my favorite comics working, and he was like going on the road, and I was kind of talking to him about how like doing the road is much different than doing like your power sets in Los Angeles, which are like 10 to 15 minutes, and it's just all about your jokes. Just like you're just trying to rack as much as you can within a 10 to 15 minute set. It's not about getting to know you. There's not enough time.
Well, you're talking so a lot, and I'll try to find through lines in like business and startup stuff. Is like you're talking about first impression essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this. You're not going to get offended, but it's not like you're a huge name, right? So it's
Right.
like sometimes here's how I always feel about it, and why starting is interesting. And I agree, it's always an audition. So how am I going to get the point across that who I am, what I'm about, in under 30 seconds? So
Yes.
what's that first thing I'm going to say? And you riff as well. I riff too. So it's like, you're like, all right, well, this could just go any which way. This is
Yeah.
like a find your own or choose your own adventure book. And it could be like we did the show Thursday and you got up and you went hard and the crowd was like,
Yeah.
like that's a little aggressive. Like
Yeah.
you're like a walking, talking Monster Energy drink.
Well, you know why? Because I got off stage, and everybody who got off stage kind of had this look of what the fuck just happened there. I looked at Mike. He got off stage, and he's so fucking funny. He's like, "What the fuck is up with this crowd?" And I'm like, "Oh,
it was
God."
fun. I thought the crowd was fun.
I don't know, man. He just gave me this look of just like weirdness. So I went up there, and I did go a little hard because I get so excited sometimes.
Sure. And
I
that-
just want to start racking people, and
But people
Do
do this in the conference room too. Sometimes you're doing a presentation or you're giving a speech or you're getting that startup funding money and you're so jacked and you're ready to go and you come out of the gate like you have Tourette's almost, like, oh shit, I have 40 things to say and I got to get this out.
Right,
like,
right.
Like you almost have a SWAT team that's gonna blow up the building if you don't get these things out in like under 3 minutes.
And
Because you're sitting in the back and you're walking the room. I saw you kind of. You got to observe. You got to see how this crowd is when the feature's up. Same thing in business. You have to see what's the setting like. You walk in a place and you go, all right, this is kind of a really quiet, calm place. This might be a Christian company. We don't really know. So we got to play it a little bit cooler. But sometimes you come out of the gate and do the antithesis of that. And that sometimes it works. It's
I can
feast or
see you in a
famine.
boardroom just going around getting everybody clapping their
Yeah.
hands. Or when you're like weird kind of
Oh
like
yeah, Janet
your
Jackson
Christopher
microphone.
Titus.
Oh yeah.
Like microphone. Guys,
Slap
who's ready
chop.
to sell? Get it going. Come on. Everyone's like, what is going on here?
You guys ready?
Yeah. Which is definitely true. It's just like it's such a weird thing. And I'm just, since we're being honest, like I always feel when I'm at this club, it's an audition to do it again.
The Tampa Improv.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's always an audition on whether it's gonna. Like I have certain clubs I know no matter what happens, I'm coming back. You know, there's just like I have those certain clubs I've been playing for years, and they'll always have me back, and they know it's either going to be pure rock and roll or it's going to get weird, and they accept it because the room's packed.
Yeah, and you build those relationships over time. It didn't happen that way the first time you were there. You go to Vegas a lot. You do a lot of Vegas gigs.
Yeah.
You lived in Vegas for a while, right?
Yeah, I loved it.
And
That's
so
where I started.
And so, like, you have those relationships now, but when you were first kind of getting there, it wasn't like, oh, yeah, they'll have me back no matter what.
You know, it's like, yeah, your average club owner and manager, they're wonderful people, but they tend to like more mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they tend to be more into the mainstream comedy because it's a little safer.
Sure.
And people think I try to be a shock comic. I'm really not. I'm just being honest on say. I like to be.
I just tell it like it is.
I mean, it sounds crazy, but it really, like, I have a bit about smoking crack. I haven't done it here yet because it hasn't been the right crowd yet. But
well, you're in Ybor City. I think this is the right crowd.
well, I think it's time to do it tonight. I've been only doing 45. I'm used to doing like an hour 15, you know, and I'm just having fun with it. But I've been like kind of just feeling it out. But every club I do, with the exception of Mitzi Shore.
Yeah.
Actually, Tammy Bronson's the same way, too. She owns a couple clubs, and she owns this great club in Edmonton. And
so Mitzi Shore is the owner of
the Comedy Store.
This isn't like a comedy nerd crowd, so I got to interject some of the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Comedy Store is owned by the legendary comedy club owner, Mitzi Shore.
Yeah.
And she loved it if you just went up there and had a weird one. And she just, as long as she saw you were working on shit, she's really cool about that. You know, and I was kind of spoiled by working there, and like you leave the Comedy Store, you think everywhere's the Comedy Store, and it's not necessarily always the Comedy Store, and there's a little more science to everything that needs to be done. And so I basically so it's just I like just honesty, man. I just like everything that's honest. I think there's everyone's got a secret about some weird shit they're into.
Ooh.
You know,
right.
I think if you're like 35 and you don't have a secret, you're just a pussy, man. You're just a giant pussy, and you're lying. You're either lying or you're a pussy.
Wait a minute, hold on. If you're 35, let me get the criteria.
Yeah. If you haven't got to a certain point in age where you don't have something weird that you're into that you just don't want to tell anybody, like, you're just weird. I think you're like a fucking freak. I think that everybody's into something, and if we were just more honest with you, weird shit wouldn't go on. You wouldn't have gay guys going into religion, you know, and becoming a priest because they're so ashamed that they're gay. If they could just be themselves, we'd have less of that weird shit going on. We'd have less, you know, Republicans striking down gay laws and just being totally gay. You know, it's just why can't we be honest about being weird?
I agree. More
old are you,
transparency.
Law?
31.
Okay, so you got 4 more years to come up with.
I don't know. We talked about this Thursday night. Like Sam was talking about, he kind of goes in both worlds a lot of the time. With, not the gay community, but the.
I'm weird, dude.
You're doing stand up, but you're also writing, and people probably don't know the writing side of you.
Yeah.
Whereas I love small business consulting. Like I love it, and I love stand up. And those two worlds are kind of merging a little bit, but like that's the weird thing of me, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have like a fetish or like step on, you know, some eggshells and I'll get a boner and like.
No, maybe
it doesn't even have to be sexual.
No, I know.
Be,
I went hyperbolic for fun,
right,
but
it's fine.
But I'm saying like, you know.
Are you the hyperbolic podcast of record? Like, I feel like you use that more in your podcast than anybody else. I'm just spitballing here, but I feel like I've never used that word ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You use it a lot?
Yeah.
Hyperbolic? You're like, oh.
Yeah.
It's
But sometimes I say hyperbolic.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what the
look.
correct
I'm
pronunciation.
I'm a math guy. I'm not a.
You're a number
language.
cruncher. I like that.
Yeah.
I wish I was.
Yeah, it's a good thing to have, but it sucks because you can't turn that off. Just like stand up, you can't turn off like observing a lot of shit, which makes you good at consulting in a way. Because all we do is walk around and go, "Why the fuck is that?" And like,
oh, that's cool.
And then you obsess over it. So it actually helps a lot. My least favorite thing in comedy is when people are like, "I only work an hour or two a night," and I'm like, "Fuck that." That's the other way around. You work all the time because your head can't shut off. There's a reason you have to have that lonely 6-pack. To go to sleep after a show in the shitty hotel in Poughkeepsie, New York, or whatever. Or is it New York? Yeah. And you have to just ride that out.
100%, dude. It's very. some people are like, oh, you're a comic, it's great. It's like, you just got to work an hour a night. I'm like, nah, dude.
No.
It is like 9 to most people have 9 to 5. I've literally, when I'm not lying to you, a 24/7 job. It's like the only time I'm not working on my career is when I'm sleeping, and if I could do it then, I would do it too. It's like,
and I don't imagine you sleep very well.
I don't. Well, she's asking me, what time did you get up today? I get up every 3 hours and I freak out, like, what the fuck's going on? And
Sweet.
Then I go back to sleep,
Well,
and I wake up. What the fuck? What am I doing? I should be doing. And then I go back to sleep.
There's a scientific reason for that, actually.
Why?
Because when you're sleeping, you go through the same sleep cycle throughout the night. So it's usually every 2 or 3 hours. Because I wake up every 2 hours. But that's just the way the sleep cycle goes. Yeah, I know.
Once in a while, I'll bang out an 8 hour and I'll feel like $1 million. But for the most part, I'm constantly thinking what's going on. So, like, I do all the, writing down what I want to get done and all that stuff. Like, every day it's working on something. It's like I usually write on projects every day. I'm doing, like, 3 different projects. So I'll write on 3 different projects a day, like treatments and
that's project management, too. It's because you're doing 4 different things concurrently. So it's like, right now for our company, we have 13 current projects, and I have 10 in the hopper, probably about to convert over to current work. I'm trying to contextualize this a little bit in that business kind of mindset, because all this stuff is related. Like, I hate it when comedians are like, man, fuck, like they don't think they are a business, and they are a business. That's what's insane. And so you're writing a lot of content, but you're also project managing a lot of this stuff. So
yes,
you go from concept to it being pushed out there, whatever the exit is, depending on if you're a producer or if you're just the writer and you're giving it to a producer to write notes and give it back to you.
Right.
So you have to be able to take notes. That's another thing.
Yeah.
But it's hard to kind of compartmentalize your head when you're doing all these projects.
Oh, it is. It's crazy because you're spinning plates. You're just spinning 19 plates, and the plates can't fall, and you just got to keep moving. And the biggest thing, and then we'll get back to whatever format you want. I don't really hijacked your show.
We don't.
I do that in podcasts a lot. I'm like, okay, here's what I want to talk about.
No, we don't really have a format other than we just want to see, and this might be more of a study of how your brain works than actually like, well, what how did you start out in open mics?
No, I mean, I'll get into that.
No,
too,
we don't
man.
have to. We it's whatever.
Because my dad didn't give me a lot. I love my dad. Mm-hmm. He's not perfect. I'm not perfect. My dad's not perfect. We won't get too much into that. But he didn't give me a lot. But he did give me a couple things. 1, my sense of humor, and 2, my work ethic. You know, it's like I may not be as far as some, and I may not. And I've made some bad decisions. I got that from my dad, but I made some bad decisions. But
yeah.
I will not be outworked. I will work it's like back in the day I used to do something called What Would Whitney Do, right? Whitney Cummings.
Yeah.
Like, as much, I think like people are kind of over the Whitney bashing, but there was a small time where there was this window of like everyone bashing comedian actress Whitney Cummings. And because
she's producer of Two Broke Girls and Undateable, right?
I don't know. Did she produce Undateable? I didn't hear that.
I thought so, right?
I know
I'll look it up while
she's
you're talking.
co-creator of Two Broke Girls, which is the first show in the history of television to ever be syndicated before its first episode ever came out, which basically means a company bought the rights to play it on, let's say, like Nick at Night or the USA or whatever it is. It's like, and that's a huge thing. That's
your exit strategy when you're doing a sitcom, is like you want to get that 100 episodes.
100 episodes.
And no one gets that picked up. Like, it's almost unheard of.
Especially in today and age with all the options you have, it's so hard to get to 100 episodes. But she got boom. But it's like the thing about Whitney is Whitney works so hard. Like Jeffrey Ross said about it, was like she did 10 years of work in 5 years, and that's kind of my option. Is like, I was a stand-up comic, I am a stand-up comic. I was very more art than business. I only believed in the show, not show business.
Right.
And then like at the beginning of the year, this year, my attitude kind of changed. And I did this tour with my friend called the Man Heat Tour. And we did like 2 weeks in a row. And we did the Northeast. We went right in the middle of that giant storm that was going through, where they were like going to be like the worst storm ever. We were right in the middle of that, man.
A lot of heat.
We had to bring the heat because everybody was cold. And we did really well, man. I was pretty impressed with the numbers we had. Like, again, for 2 guys that aren't super well known. You know, we had some good numbers. Like I have a sneaky underground following. You know, I'm not like a Rogan or anything like that, but I'll come into town and I'll actually be impressed with how many people actually came because they listened to my podcast or stuff like that. So we did pretty well, but I realized, man, it's just like it's all about famous people. People just want to see like famous people. You know? And it's whether
former SNL stars starting to headline comedy
said-
clubs, and you're like, did they even do stand up?
And it's weird because the experience isn't going to be as good, but they get so excited about seeing famous people. They're like, oh my God, I saw him. You're like, and I always tell them, like, the guy that you don't know is probably the funniest dude because he's so funny, they had to give him a weekend.
Yep.
You know, it's like he's earned that through just killing rooms. It's just he may not. I call it the Elvis factor. Some people have the Elvis factor. Some people don't.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, can you get people to worship at your altar?
You might be more of a Willie Nelson. You might not crest until you're 60s.
No, I may be of a Tom Waits. Like, you know, unless you're like a really
let's have
huge.
someone good though. Let's
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, you may not like, but he's like within musicians,
Yeah.
he's completely and utterly respected.
I know. I just
You
I
know,
can't.
it's just like it's its own. It's like you might be that guy who crushes so hard that only your peers like appreciate what you're doing, and that's fine, man. It's like at least somebody likes you.
You'll be a Tom Petty. How about that?
I'll take anything at this point.
Who do you guys think someone's like?
What?
Name
Like
someone that you
underrated.
think
Well,
is
I
like
think
that.
Sam's one of the more underrated
Right.
comedians in the country. It's like I've seen him a bunch, obviously, but it's like you. I'll listen to the interviews you're on. You don't walk through it. You're into it. Like you're into this right now.
Yeah.
Like jacked up. You were asleep no less than an hour ago probably, and you're just like ready to go because you're like, and you're doing this on a Saturday. You don't have to do this. So there's
Oh,
that,
you're my friend.
Yeah, no, but that's the other work ethic part of this. Like, you could just be like, hey, man, I don't really feel like it. You know, let's just go fucking watch X-Men or something like that. But it's like, you know, you're going out of the comfort zone to do this. So that that's the work ethic. But B, like, it just may take a while. It's the Ron White kind of stuff where he didn't really like until he was Foxworthy's opener forever, and he was big in Texas, but it didn't really crack.
Oh,
until
dude,
late.
yeah, he was living with his mom when they blew up, and he's at the Comedy Store now. And
Yeah.
I love watching him. I love his style. I love all that. But it is this weird kind of thing. So I do that tour, and I realize things change. So I used to be take everything, like I just invested my heart and soul in every single thing I did.
Yeah.
Which is good in one way, but I just think in the environment of comedy right now, it's not the best way to operate. It's like, for me, it's just like you can't take every project you do and make it personal. You work hard on it and you do your best, but I mean, within comedy, it's all about just throwing as much shit against the wall, hoping something would stick. Like, I had this Naughty show forever, and that was my baby, and I was just like, I'm gonna get this on TV, and it was just like, and it was all I focused on. Manager's like, come up with something else. I'm like, no, this is it.
This is where I heard about you getting your face sat on by a stripper or something.
Oh yeah,
a
dude.
porn star.
Yeah.
For those that don't know,
Oh,
the
no,
Naughty Show.
That was a different story, and I tell that story on stage, and I just watch people stare at me. But again, it goes back to this real thing. I did this show in Newport, Dana Point, and this girl heckled me.
That's south of L.A., north of San Diego.
If you've never been there, which most people haven't, it's this like hidden Shangri-La of hot people. Like everybody's rich and good looking. I mean, the Southern California is basically, in my opinion, a government experiment in breeding hot people.
I'm down.
Like, people move to L.A., try to make it, doesn't work out, so they start moving more and more south, and just good-looking people humping good-looking people, and then it's just like we're like 7 generations into smoking hot people hooking up.
Yeah.
And it's just another level of human being. You're like, God damn.
And then Temecula is like the offshoot. That's the reject pile.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a little
like
hot. It's not great.
It's a little shady over there. It's like, where the you can go if you're a 5 or 6 to Temecula. You can't be. You gotta be 9 or 8 in like Newport Beach. You look at these people; they're like stunning human beings.
Newport's amazing.
God country, dude. It really is God country.
Yeah.
So I was doing this show, and this girl walked in. She was like an LA 10 and like a legit LA 10, and she was just shit faced. She'd broken up with her girlfriend. I do a whole bit about lipstick lesbians and she wouldn't shut up, and I was just hit because she was actually heckling a good friend of mine who's since passed away, Angelo Bowers. It was just,
dude, that guy was monster, man. I only knew him through Twitter, and I was like, this guy's amazing.
dude. You know, Gerard Carmichael's got a television show right now, but he was like in that group. It was like the two of them were gonna blow up, and he was loved by it. Anyways, I'm watching him. It's his first road gig, and he's getting heckled by this like gorgeous woman, and he doesn't know what to do, and she's just doing flyby Instagram, and there wasn't Instagram then, but it was like Instagram attention whore stuff, like walking up and with her big rack, and I was like, and that's half the reason I walk around. I start seeing who's trouble.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna lock and load on you, right?
Walk the room, man. Yeah.
Just like who is gonna? They don't even know what they're getting into. So I'm watching. I'm like,
you're like a teacher at a middle school dance. That's kind of how you have to walk around. You're
chaperone,
like, what the fuck's
Mr.
going
Chaperone.
on?
I walk
here?
around,
All right.
my fist on the
about
side.
to get on stage and ruin this shit for someone. Someone's about to get fucking dealt with.
Well, you know, it's like hecklers are so interesting because I tell young comics, like, just think of a heckler as a first-time open micer.
Yes.
They have no clue what they're doing. They just want to be funny, and they don't know how to be funny.
They're the funniest guy in their golf group, or they're the funniest. I'm the chick that tells it like it is, and we're hammered. The reputation, that's why I texted you last night. How would the early Friday show go? Because if that was crazy, the Friday late show, for those that don't know anything about comedy, that is the notorious show of a weekend slate when you're doing it.
Oh, yeah. I'm putting out a double album,
Yeah.
and one is just me. I was trying to record an album, realized they're all shit-faced, and for like an hour, I just ripped these people new assholes, and
Yeah.
it's going to be a double album. The Diabolical, and then the other one's got to be called Friday Late Show, right?
I love that.
And I just shit on people
love
the whole
that.
time.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. I'm one of the few guys putting out albums still, but I'm going to work on an hour special next. But the point is, so this girl, like, to go back to the story you've heard,
Yeah.
is she heckles me. I start racking her, and she's like, starts acting like she's going to moon me. And I tell her, like, hey, don't write a check. Don't let your ass write
Right.
a check you can't cash. And she goes, what? Lay down. I go, what? She goes, lay down. And I lay down. She got naked and she sat on my face. And that was the story. And if I would have let them film it, I would have been huge by now. But I said, put the phones away. Put the phones away. Because my girlfriend at the time would not have been happy about that. But then I think about how big Jim Jeffries got off of just being cracked in the face.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Fuck.
And not that he's obviously a great comic.
No, but yeah,
you know, like that. It just takes something to launch you.
Yeah.
Like my buddy Sean Halpin got big off that fat shaming video. Like
yeah.
the girl,
He's hilarious. I remember him when I first started in LA. He's hilarious.
he's an underrated guy too. That guy just grinds, bro, and he's such a funny dude. And he, you know, he's got his video, and he did a retort to her fat shaming video, which wasn't funny at all.
Right.
She's just like, it's so funny. She's like, I'm just getting this because I'm a woman. If I wasn't, I'm like, if you weren't a woman, we wouldn't be talking about you right now. The fact that you're just some blonde with huge tits is the only reason this is all an issue. And then every picture of hers, like we're in some like penthouse, we're on all four shot with her. She has a shirt on,
She's
but
a
her
comedian,
jugs hanging
though,
out.
right?
Well, yeah. Oh, I have this whole thing with Esther Koo. Have you ever heard of Esther Koo?
Yeah.
Like she goes crazy. She went crazy on me one time on this podcast.
Really?
Yeah, because
She lives in Miami, I think.
I think she's New York.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I only know her.
But she ends her set with finger blasting herself. She literally fingers herself while she does her dates where she's going to be. And I'm like,
Oh yeah,
and
I've
then
heard
I'm-
that.
And I'm going to hear about how it's so hard to be a woman in comedy. It's
It's-
like, what are you talking about?
I heard. I think I listened to her on Kreischer's podcast, and she did that, and I was like, "What the? This is cool.
I mean, it's
This is amazing."
It's easy. It's easy shit. But then don't cry about how hard it is to be a woman. So that was where that is. I like chaos, dude.
Yeah,
I love chaos. I live for chaos.
you
And-
love. You were saying you loved walking around Ybor City, which is like Tampa's Bourbon Street, because not everybody that listens to this is kind of in this area and knows it. So it's the 7th Avenue's here, like 6th Street in Austin or Bourbon Street, and it's just fucking chaos. Like Friday and Saturday nights out here, there's a goddamn baby stroller that has a huge goddamn snake. I hate snakes so much.
I hate snakes too, dude.
And-
I owned a snake for a short time, and nothing was worse than feeding it. I hated doing it. I lasted for about 6 months. I'm like, I can't do it,
Why'd you
dude,
get the snake then?
because I thought it would be cool. At
Enough
that
with
time.
the anal, all right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going back to that.
What about the guy who took a shit and
That's our callback for the
Yeah.
rest of the show.
an anaconda went up the toilet and bit him in the nuts?
Like
No,
recently?
really?
Yeah,
I always think
dude.
that
They
that's just
show
an
the
urban
picture
legend.
of the anaconda through the toilet seat.
It was CGI, just like that.
You just
alligator.
think at the alligator CGI, you trust nothing.
No,
There's
I don't.
another alligator video the next day.
Of
And
the
they
same
saw it again?
alligator?
Yeah, it's a real alligator.
What does it eat? That big? What does it eat?
Everything,
Yeah.
just anything. Birds.
Dogs.
Yeah,
That's what sucks.
it'll eat a
most.
dog. Yeah.
You think they're gonna try kill it?
I
No.
think they have to, don't they?
No.
Like if they catch it.
I don't know
my
if they.
understanding is
I don't know if you can legally.
Well, my understanding.
Why
is
should
you
they
can
kill
catch
it, though?
Because there's so many alligators now that they can actually cause problems. My understanding.
Let it eat the other alligators.
Yeah.
There's a video of that. Did you
but
ever
they're
see
not
that video
cannibal-
where the big alligator eats the little alligator?
No, but I will after this.
That's a CGI too.
You don't trust anything.
My understanding was that if you catch an alligator and it's a certain size, you actually have to kill it, and then they sell the meat and the skin and whatever.
This sounds like a setup. I
No,
thought
no,
this
I
was gonna be a
swear to God.
setup for
No,
a
no, no.
Florida joke, and
No.
like,
No, this is what I heard. And I know they do that in Louisiana.
well,
Where if it's a
let's
certain
not follow
size, you
what
have to
they
kill
do.
it.
Yeah, let's not do anything Louisiana does.
So, gators aside, so you're right in this crux of like, you're doing a lot of projects, but you feel like you're kind of spinning your wheels a bit, and you're trying to. Sometimes we're talking to people right in the middle of like what they're trying to figure out. Not like you're in a crossroads, Bone Thug style, but like you're like we were talking the other night. It's like, what do I? You're trying to figure out. It seems like comics always have the introspective kind of thoughts, but sometimes they're not good introspective thoughts. Meaning that you're really trying to think about it as your own manager in a way. What would if I could take part of myself and be my own manager, what would that be? And going like, fuck it, man, I just need it. I'm going to do an hour. I need to have this other hour out there. My thing with that is like, there's so many hours now. What do you do? Like, how do you set yourself apart?
I don't know if you do. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the truth is it's like they're giving people the hours that
Yeah.
aren't even national headliners.
They're not good.
They've done 30-minute sets, and it's like an hour is a whole different monster. It's
Yeah.
like it's an hour isn't about your jokes. An hour is about you and an experience of you and understanding what you are. In a weird way, an hour is a one-man show. And some people don't get that, and they think I have an hour.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it needs to be a special.
Oh, yeah.
You know? But I think people now don't look at them as specials. They look at them as hours, you know, and there's a big difference there. And some people it helps, some people it hurts. I feel like some people it hurt not that their career's in trouble or anything, but it made it harder for them to get a following. I feel like people watched it and they're like, ugh, you know?
Yeah.
Because for me, when you put out a special, you're not going to get everybody, but you're supposed to get the people you're supposed to get. Does that make sense? Like the people who normally wouldn't know of you that would be into you are
Right.
supposed to watch going, oh, I love that.
Yeah.
But if you put it out too early, you're not going to get any of them.
Right.
And I think it hurts in the long run, but it just goes back to Suits who are they're brand builders.
Yeah.
And they don't care about the respect of an hour. And it's
Right.
nothing against them. They're just trying to make $1, but they're just like, I'm going to put this guy up, give him an hour. We're going to put it on Netflix, and we're going to go from there. And it will just keep the ball rolling, when in the long run, it probably wasn't the best idea.
It almost seems like the producers, the play, where you're like, we'll just throw, it doesn't matter what it is, we're going to throw it up and we're going to make money. So
Yeah.
it's just like, we don't, not that Netflix isn't like, I think we're kind of dancing around Netflix a little bit. I don't care. I'll say it because I ain't going to be on there. But
You don't know.
Not with that attitude, mister.
well, you could even talk shit about Netflix. They probably like it because they like being called out for what they're doing. That's why they're good. They make their own competition.
They are the name. They are the brand of excellence of that genre of entertainment.
Right, and we were talking about Netflix a little bit ago before we started, and it was like, they think about themselves like Mark Cuban talks about, which is you always have to think of your business as there's going to be competitors coming at you. And I always kind of think about being content with your business or creative endeavor that's the worst word in business. Like, we're good. It's like jokes. Jokes they're never really done. right? So like,
Well, the worst is when you record an album and then you get this great tag for a bit and you're like, oh, fuck, man. Is that joke done? Do you take that joke and throw it away?
Yeah.
Because right now there's an arms race in comedy
yeah,
where everybody feels they got put out an hour every year. And I just don't think
no,
everybody, and even a lot of the guys who are the bigger names who are putting out an hour every year, I don't feel like they're doing themselves a service by putting out an hour, because as great as your hours in a year, I really do believe in 2 years it'll be better. And
sure.
there's some people who can put out an hour and it really crushes. Like Joe Rogan could put out an hour and it really fucking is good shit. Like he's a great, his riffs are like really, really well thought out. So even when it's a riff he's doing, it's still a pretty polished bit. But there's a lot of guys rushing to put it out, and I was doing that too. Like I put out an album 2 years ago, did really well. So now I got this other one that I got to start editing and putting out.
When do you think it's coming out?
Well, I'm going to listen to it again tonight. The problem is the guy who recorded didn't do a great job recording the audience. And
oh yeah, we were talking about this. Yeah, so that sucks.
it does suck because it takes a little of the ambiance of the room as you're performing. Because I listen to my other ones and it's crush fest, and you listen to this one and the jokes are great.
Yeah,
But there's not that laugh in the back. Part of me wants to take a weird sitcom canned laughter and load it through the back of it and just have it be like
Saved by the Bell.
just be like, the guy who recorded this didn't record the audience. It's fuck it, have fun, enjoy it, and put it out. Just make it this weird ass album.
Try that with a track and see how that goes.
Well, of course, I'm not gonna do a whole thing and then realize it sucks.
Canned laughter.
But Woo! But going back to what we were talking about earlier is that I learned that you can't personalize every bit, meaning every project I'm doing. So now I'm just writing projects and just pitching them. And if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, and you know what else I'm working on? And I'm not, this is going to sound so stupid. You're like, duh.
Sex change.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to cut my dick off.
Okay.
I am not writing shows necessarily that I want to see on TV or that I would like to be in, but I'm writing shows that I think the industry wants. And that sounds stupid. That sounds like, duh.
It's tough.
You should do that. But it's like me embracing the biz of showbiz, because I was all show. And that's all I ever wanted to do.
Yeah.
I didn't care about, I'm not good. I have a crippling social anxiety. It's very hard for me to like network with people. I get in. Oh, 100%, dude. I cannot hang out.
I figured you'd be good in the room. If you were brought in a meeting, you'd be really good.
If I go in a meeting, like, oh, I'm meeting with you guys, I'll light it up.
Yeah.
But in terms of like going somewhere, like an industry, like meet and greet, never happening. Go and hang out somewhere where it's, oh, blah, blah, blah's birthday, and everyone's never happening.
But you can walk around Ybor though, because that terrifies. Like that's the kind of, like we were talking
because
about.
I'm not talking to anybody. I'm just observing and I'm just walking.
He's in a
That's
zoo.
what makes our social anxiety different. I just can't be around just that many people in general.
I'm not
There's
big
just
on
too
groups.
much chaos.
Like I could do, like I'll go see a band. I like that, but as long as I'm all by myself, like
Yeah.
But the point of that whole thing is like I focus more on just writing all these ideas that I think they want. Like, you know, it's like, what do I think is hot right now? How can I pitch something like that? And it works, man. It's like I got a bunch of stuff going on. I got something at Comedy Central going with Al Magical, and I have these other projects that
Who's awesome. I love Al.
Oh, Al, I want to write a book one time, right?
Okay.
And I want to interview each part of making it in show business.
Yeah.
Each level, the guy I feel like mastered that the most. So like, what did they do? And each chapter is a different person talking about that aspect of making it and what they did and how they did it. And one, is like...
And Al's your utility player? Like, because he could probably give... I feel like he did really well in all aspects of that.
He is the total package. He is the 5-tool player.
Yeah.
He, in terms of doing... Like trying to make I don't want to give away his stuff, but he the things that he has going on that nobody knows about, that he doesn't tell anybody except for me when he calls me up and brags to me all the time, and I'm very thankful for it. I love Al. He's helped me out a lot of times, but the things that he's done, like he got asked to do by the 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers, to roast all the NFL owners. They had a private thing for the CEOs and all the corporate people from all the major sponsors of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Plus all 32, I think it is, owners of the NFL teams.
Yeah.
He had to roast them.
That's not easy. That's not a fun crowd necessarily.
Oh, it's a suicide mission. You know, it's like there's certain gigs, but there's certain people who can do them well.
Yeah.
You know, like,
well, billionaires typically don't have the best sense of humor when you make fun of them.
oh yeah, and they're super alpha.
Robert Kraft's not like, oh sweet, thanks, thanks a lot.
Oh, you're right. My
I'll go buy
girlfriend
you.
is 60 years younger than me. That's a good point. Way to point that out in front of all my peers. Thank you so much. He was sitting at a table with Les Moonves.
Yep.
The guy who runs Viacom.
CBS.
Yeah.
Viacom. Yeah.
The woman who's the CEO of Pepsi, she was there, and just Robert Kraft was at his thing. Like, he's hanging out with all these people. Like, that's what he does. When Viacom has a pitch conference, he's the guy they go to.
Yeah,
he's in the mill.
Well, he's a super smart dude, and I listened to his story, and I like it because he is the mixture of a businessman and comedy.
He is showbiz.
But he's figured out, because he ran his family's business while doing stand-up, and I just like anybody that hustles. I don't want to hang out with anybody, like even hearing the story or just hanging out with people that are just like, well, I don't know. I don't really, things need to come to me. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
No, dude, that's the worst.
I don't have time for that shit.
I do Kill Tony all the time. It's a very popular podcast that has like
a
bunch of comedians who are working, and they have aspiring comics come up. They do a minute, and the comics give them advice on that minute. And, you know, I had this one guy come up, and he just kind of effed his minute through. He just didn't give a shit, and he was dressed pretty sloppy, and he didn't care. And I'm just like, dude, you don't know what you're walking into. This is not the 70s where you could just be a giant cokehead and just show up and they didn't care because they didn't know what they were like. Dude, I tell people, man, you got to be Wolf of Wall Street with comedy. It's literally that kind of effort that must be put out. It is go all the time. Work at the highest level you possibly can. Kill or be killed, man. That's what you're up against. You're up against sharks. You're up against vegans, sober vegans who are showing up, and they did yoga, they did meditation, and now they're sitting down and they're writing over, and all they think about is pitch, sell, star, pitch, sell, star. The fuck around days, and I get it because maybe you're a 21-year-old kid and you just want to drink and screw and have fun, and there is something to that.
Yeah.
That's the life experiences, but just know you're up against sharks.
Yeah, I mean, I see it like supply and demand a little bit because there's so many more comedians now than there had to have been 10 years ago. Just because I'm 31, and the guys that are my age were raised on Comedy Central.
Oh yeah, you guys are totally different than my generation,
right? And it's just because we had that access that the older generations never had.
100%.
And so, like, everybody's like, I could do that. And then you kind of half-ass into it. And then you get your shit pushed in Training Day style, like Kill Tony, where you just kind of go up there like.
And they're millennials, and they just have never been told you're retarded and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And you just see the look on their face, you know? And it's just like, I'm not the greatest. Like, I was in acting classes, and you would see these millennials come in, these shiny, pretty millennials, like just gorgeous people, and they got told by the acting instructor, acting teacher, what are you doing up there? That was horrible. And you just saw a fracture in their skull, and then they never came back. They never came back.
So that's another good kind of thing to pull out of this, of us just kind of shooting the shit, is like, being able to take constructive criticism. Fucking creatives are the hardest people to work with in business. And I'll tell you from the other side of that, the other side of the table is like, and you talked about this earlier, is like, you think your idea is super precious. You think this thing's very precious. I'm the artist. I'm the thing that made this thing happen. You couldn't do this without me. But you, as the artist, you get a stranglehold. And I was telling someone this the other day. It's like, no creative, and I work with a lot of graphic designers and, you know, video people and all this stuff, and it's like, they can't talk shit to me because I run in both worlds. And I go, well, yeah, I do stand-up, so you can't really tell me, like, you need your safe space and all this shit to, like, get your work done. You fucking figure it out. Like, if you need to carve out 4 hours, turn your phone off and get to work. But put your goddamn head down and go do it. And so my thing is, like, the creative process, don't think, like, just because you made a logo that you own that brand forever. No, that's your job. You made that logo. You're good at it. But at the same time, like the person who made the Nike logo, I'm sure tells everybody how she made the Nike logo for art. She was an art student or something like that. Made it for like $75, the swoosh. And then they took and ran with it. I'm sure that story's been told a billion times.
I'm sure she's at the bar all the time drinking another shot at noon going, I made that logo.
Or it smells like patchouli because it's probably Oregon. And it's, just at some farm to table restaurant and just like, hey, Nike logo right here. Like, but my thing is, don't feel precious. These things, I almost look at it like a Jewish sense. Like, because Jewish people don't think you can't hold on to these items. You're only here for a little bit on this blue marble. So it's like, why would you hold on to all these ideas? Be someone who creates and just goes, okay, yeah, I was involved in this, but it's going to be something else by the time it gets to air, or by the time even your special where you have a lot of autonomy in what you want to do. You still have to collaborate, and what's in your head is not actually what may come out in the end. You may go, I want to do a vinyl, and you do the vinyl and you find out, oh shit, if we do this kind of print, if we might do 3 colors because it's cheaper. So, okay, you have to
be flexible.
Right. And so I think a lot of creatives, this is where they fuck themselves up, is they go, I'm an artist. And the romantic part of being an artist is that you talked about, that's what you worried about. You're about the show. I'm all about the show. Get me to the show. I am the show. I'm the artist. I'm the romantic part of this business. But I never thought about the business side. And there's a way to merge it, like Al Madrigal, which is why I
think it's very important. Yeah. I would almost tell you, and it breaks my heart to say it, but the business side is almost more important than the artist side. I've seen a lot of people get by on the business side, and because the expectations of the artist side, I feel, is so much lower from the masses. I mean, everybody can yell about the suits and what they're putting out, and it's like, what are the consumers buying? They're buying the crap. It's like there's the artists have this we want this really high level of art being put out, but the buyer and then the consumer they just want it down here. So it's just like, I'm always like, I'll listen to anything. And you just run it through your brain. Is that applicable to what I'm trying to do? Yeah. Does this make it better? Maybe it does. But there's also other things that go on when you're taking notes from people.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not this project that goes, but if you're easy to work with, they'll work with you on another project. Like, I got in at Comedy Central. I've been working with these guys. It was very hard for me to pitch to them before, but now because of this, they're like, oh yeah, we'll hear your other project.
Yeah.
I literally have no ego. I'm in this really great doc coming out right now about comedy. It's called I'm Dying Up Here.
Yeah. The book?
No, it's
not from the book though.
No, Dying of Laughter. It's called.
Okay.
And it's literally the best doc on stand-up comedy you will ever see in your life. It's premiering tonight in LA. I was supposed to be there, but it's premiering, and it's like I talking in about how.
Well, just as good. You're in Tampa doing stand-up.
I love it, dude.
No, I know.
I'll come here a million times.
I like to shit on us.
But it's like I'm burnt wood. Like, this is like when I get heckled from people.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to hurt there's no feelings to hurt. Right. It's been like clown gangbanged out of me. Like, I just like the feelings are gone. It's either we're doing this right or we're not doing it right. What do I got to do to make it right? So like when I hear people's advice, I'll listen to anybody.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of young people don't want to listen to people. And it's like, I go to people, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you something. You could either take it now and apply it to what you're doing, or in 5 years go, what the fuck, why didn't I listen to him? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where it's at.
Yeah.
This is what you got to do. I have a buddy of mine who I think is very funny. I'm not going to say his name, but I watched the way he's operating, and it's going to come back and bite him in the ass.
Right.
And he doesn't. I watch him, and I pull him aside. I gave him the greatest advice I ever gave somebody. And it's just like, and I'm just saying because I thought about it, like, how can I talk to this guy and tell him what he's doing? And like, I've seen it happen to me, in weird ways I've operated, where I've had people who've had, like, I guess when I was young, I was very, because I was a very, like, insecure person. I was very, like, I just, you know, even as in high school, I was always felt I never got respect, and I always had a weird way of operating it. My dad told me all this shit before, and it was a horrible way to deal with people. So I kind of took that to Hollywood, and I scorched the earth, and it was a horrible way to do it. But I always felt like I was treating people well. Well, some people I didn't, and it later came back to bite me in the ass.
Yeah.
And it's taken me a while to mend those fences and build that bridge again with them, and I have. But it's like, you don't understand, man. People remember how you treat them when they're running around from open mic in backpacks and stuff like that. You know, my whole theory has always been you don't know who's going to blow up.
Right.
Like, if you would have gone back, 10 years ago and go, how many people want to put money on Adam Devine's going to be the one that blows up out of everybody? I'll take money right now. Anybody who wants to bet on that? Nobody would have taken that bet.
I did a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles gig with him. Yeah.
Nobody would.
We were both like, I think both of us were like, that guy sucks to each other. Like, both of us were like, eh.
And he blew up, and God bless him.
No,
but
you could tell he was funny, but it was like, who knows? You know, there's a shitload. You could probably reel off 1,000 funny people that it'll never be a household name.
Whitney Cummings. I mean, like, everyone knew she had a great work ethic, but you wouldn't have guessed it. And she blew the fuck. You just don't know who's going to blow up.
Yeah.
So when you treat people like shit,
yeah,
you just don't know where they're going to end up, man.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it's at. So I just learned to, like, how to operate with people. If people give me, sometimes with the suits, you got to take what they're saying and realize they don't know what they want.
Right.
They're just telling you their feelings on the project and how you can apply that to what you're doing, but still make the project the best it can be. You don't want to take every note and just apply it and then just have them walk all over you. You want to be able to go, okay, I hear what you're saying. Let me see if I can do this and still make it the best it can be.
Yeah.
You're
a commodity.
Yeah.
Don't think of it as precious. You're a commodity. They want to take you as a chunk of some unit, and they want to maximize the profit potential out of that. I
always tell people this when I'm talking to young. How long do we do this?
We'll wrap it up in a second.
I mean, I can go for as long as you want. It's up to you.
I know. Okay. I know. Oh, dude, we can spin a yarn between both of us. It's not. That's why we got to keep it to an hour, because we'll go out rant. We'll rant each other. But yeah, go ahead.
The way I've changed the way I operate in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Is I think of myself as McDonald's. Okay.
Okay.
And this is, how does McDonald's make their money?
Low cost, everywhere. They market share.
Basically this. They make their money two ways.
Okay.
Selling hamburgers.
Yeah.
And selling franchises.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Comics just think of themselves as their jokes as hamburgers, and they're going to make all their money selling hamburgers.
Right.
I'm like, that's not how it works.
Right.
You got to sell franchises.
Yeah.
You got to sell these franchises. These franchises allow you to sell your hamburgers, but without the franchises, you can't sell the hamburgers. So you have to be selling TV shows. You have to be selling movie scripts. You have to be selling 1 hour specials. You have to be, podcasting's great, but it's like you got to sell everything.
Yeah.
You got to sell these franchises in order to move these hamburgers.
Yep.
The only way you get it's like, I'm blessed that Bob at the Improv has me in there to sell my hamburgers, man. But I got to get more franchises on television so I can play more places so more people come to buy my hamburgers.
Right. You got to have more outlets. You got to be out there. You got to build your brand.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Yeah.
So I kind of changed my operations that I stopped pitching shows for me to be in.
Yeah.
And what I really do is I find people who, and this is a little secret I'm giving out, but I find people who got stuff going on who the industry loves.
Yeah.
And I help them come up with ideas. And because most of them are really young and don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, that's a good thing to do, though, because what I do is I'll ask. I have a bunch of guys that are 10, 15, 20 years older than me, and I go, hey, man, I know where we're at right now. We're doing well with our business, but I know that there's going to be a bigger company that needs our consulting work, and I need to be able to call you and to kind of be a mentor, but it's going to be like, hey, I got this big franchise. I have McDonald's maybe or something that's going to come our way and needs our help on something, some kind of creative or whatever it is. I want to be able to call them and ask for information. You're doing it the other way, where you're like, hey, let me help you out, but not in a scummy way. Because I feel like there's guys that used to do that back in the day, where they go, hey, let me help you out. I'll be the guy. And like that's not the way you're approaching it. You're like, hey, let me tell you how Punch Up works, and let me tell you how like. I
go to them. What do you want to do? And I listen to them, and I help them basically create their vision.
Right.
because I know how to do it. I've pitched, I've sold, and I've done that stuff. So I know how to take what they're doing.
Right.
How, and like working with Al changed my vision. He sent me a treatment of, I sent my idea, he sent it back polished,
Yeah.
and I got to look at it. I think about how to I work with a friend of mine named Josh Nasser. He's a phenomenal person. He sold a bunch of shows, and he's working with me and Al on this Comedy Central thing, and he helped me sell it. And he's really good at mining a treatment for a TV show.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what because it's a buyer's market right now. There's so many outlets, and they're so in competition with each other. They want everything. They just want you to go tell them what they need to buy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at.
And I think that's a good place to stop.
Okay,
You
I
feeling
started
good?
comedy in Las Vegas. I did it for a couple years. I moved to LA, and I got in the Comedy Store, and then I started doing really well. And then I got a TV show. It was called Spike TV, and I started touring everywhere. And then I kind of made a mistake. I got into cocaine, and I did a lot of cocaine. And for the last 7 years, it's kind of been weird. And then for the last couple years now, I've been kind of kicking ass and going really good. And I work on just writing every day. I do a vision board. I write for 10 minutes about what's going on in my life, and then I put down like the 5 or 6 things I want to do this month, this year, this thing. And then I work on that, and I write, and then I perform, and I treat people well. And that's a big thing. I treat people really nice. That's the biggest thing. It's like treat people well, and it will come back to you. And then so now I'm on this podcast.
Yeah, I like it. I love that you had that just ready to go in the hopper. Thanks for doing this.
Anytime, Law. I love you.
Sweat
I think
equity,
the world
man.
of you, dude.
Yeah, you're my. You become fast friends with people, and immediately as soon as you stayed at my house, I think 5-6 years ago when you were doing a one-off gig, I was like, I like this guy.
Thanks.
He's got a lot of moxie, as they call it in the business.
Jen loves anal.
Ooh, okay.
Jennifer.
Yeah. Hey,
Jennifer.
I'm still here.
That's how we
I'm
call
still
back.
here.
That's
I
how
was
you call
hanging in.
back.
I
All
was
right.
hanging in.
Thank y'all for
A couple
listening.
times I
Sweat Equity
drifted off.
Podcast. Subscribe, rate, review. That's the cheat code that gets us up the rankings. And listen to Punch Drunk Sports. Y'all do like 3 hours, right?
We do 2 hours.
2 hours every week.
Every week, every Tuesday from noon to 2 Pacific Standard Time. We record at the All Things Comedy Studio. You can watch it live on punchdrunksports.com. And
He's getting heartburn, so he's trying to do his plugs.
and it's like, and then I got a new podcast. We're about 60 episodes in. It's called the International Bad Boys Hour, and it's just an insane storytelling podcast. Like I want to do a podcast. I go, if Quentin Tarantino did a podcast, what would it be like?
Ooh.
And we've had some awesome people tell some insane stories. So
I love
it's me
that.
and my friend Steve Randolph. You can find me on everything: Instagram, Snapchat. I don't Snapchat. I should do it more, but at Sam Tripoli, TRIPOLI.
All right. That's been Sweat Equity. Learn some things. Share it with a friend. I never know how to close out an episode.